Hello, America. There is a race war on the horizon. That's right. There's a race war coming to us, a neighborhood near you. You won't be able to escape it. Now, most people think it's going to be black against white. Some people think that it's going to be a mix of different cultures. But the real race war is the war that's being waged against the human race. See, most of you get sucked up in this mainstream media nonsense about how we have to fix everything, and the way we're going to fix it is with new laws. Well, let me ask each and every one of you, think long and hard about this. Please, please take your time, write down some notes, do a little research, and then think long and hard. Tell me the last time that a law was passed that it made your life better and that you became more free. Think about it. Every single time that the government, the elite running the government, the real enemies, every single time that they create some problem, then swoop in with the solution, problem, reaction, solution, the Hegelian dialectic, look it up, Google it. Every time they create a problem, you react, they come in with the solution. And every single time you lose a little more freedom. There is a war being raged. There is a war on the horizon. And it is a race war. It's the human race war. The war is on all of us. It's about time we wake up and face this. Government is not your friend. They are not going to solve anything other than make you more of a slave, more of a prisoner. And they are going to take more of your money, more of your freedoms, and make sure that your children and their children are born in slavitude. They are going to be born right into servitude. So take a minute, do a little research, look back at all the thousands of laws that they constantly come up with to fix all of these problems, and then notice the one striking fact that no matter how many of these laws, no matter how big or small these laws are, it's one more law that hangs over all of our heads and affects each and every one of us and makes us less free. We don't need any more laws. They're not enforcing the laws that are on the books when it's not going with their agenda. They enforce the laws that they want to enforce when they want to enforce them to manipulate us and herd us like sheep. Wake up, America. Enough is enough. When are you going to see the real enemy? When are you going to realize that you are not fighting a war with your neighbors every single day? We do not live in war zones. We're living in America, and it's getting worse because the economy is getting worse, because a lot of things are being provocatored, and because the millions of laws that we have are making it impossible for people to make livings in an almost non-existent economy. But we are not trying to hurt each other. In fact, even these protests are ridiculous because most of the protests, they're handing flowers to the police officers. There's no real violence. This is all nonsense and propaganda. It's ridiculous scare tactic. And of course, they sprinkle in a little terrorism here and there to make you think that there's these people out there that want our freedoms so badly. They hate us because of our freedoms that they want to attack us. So what's the solution? Give up our freedom, right? Well, then why are they still attacking us? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they work for our government. And they admit it. Most of your tax dollars are paying mercenaries. One day they're freedom fighters, the next day they're terrorists. It just depends on what side of the line they're on. It just depends on what the agenda is that day. They're using the same weapons. The money always comes from our government through the CIA and other different agencies. But either way, it's coming out of your pocketbook. The borders are wide open, but you're going to be frisked when you go to the mall, or when you want to go to a parade, or if you're going to go to some high school dance, they want your ID, they want a retina scan, they want to test your genitals for weapons, they want to molest your grandmother, and they want to put their hands in your baby's diaper. But the borders are wide open. I don't know. Does everybody in America hit their head? Are you all a bunch of morons? Why on earth would you buy any story about they're trying to protect you when the borders are wide open? They're not even checking these people, and they're handing them checks, putting them on buses, letting them go wherever they want to go, and you still think that you're living in a free country and that the government cares for you, loves you, and you can trust them, and they have your best interest at heart. It's time to grow up, America. It's time to find out, are you a complete fool? Are you a complete idiot? Or are you aware that you are paying people to enslave you? Is there half a brain cell left in your head where you can realize that you are being molested every time that you fly somewhere, get on a bus somewhere, go to a function somewhere, that you are the one that they're going through all of your records and listening to all of your phone calls, reading all of your emails, reading all of your texts. They're storing all of it. They're uploading all of this information from drones, planes, you name a way to do it, they're doing it. They're telling you that they're doing it. And they're also telling you that, the borders are wide open. They really don't care about terrorism. And anybody can come in the country that they want to. But you're the threat. I don't know. I guess I'm just talking to the wall here. But I hope I reach somebody out there that has half a brain cell and that is not afraid to share this message and to talk to other people. Because our biggest problem is apathy. Our biggest problem is nobody wants to say the obvious. You're all so afraid of being ridiculed or being laughed at that you're absolutely willing to give up your freedoms, your future, and your children's freedom and future. For what? So that no one snickers at you? The reality of it is, folks, most people feel the same way. And they need to see other people standing up. And they need to hear other people spreading this message. Oh, I know. It's football season right now. And many of you right now are glued to the most important, news of the day. Like which NFL player is slapping his wife today, or, how many points another player scored. But let's be realistic. Most of you don't have jobs. You're glued to the TV. You want to know what the next, who's going to kick a field goal, a 50-yard field goal, who's going to score a touchdown, which celebrity is dating which celebrity. You want to spend all your time there. And a lot of you have just given up looking for work because right now it's somewhere between 1 in 3 Americans and 1 in 4 Americans is unemployed. The economy has never been, and that's what they report, that's what they admit. America is imploding in front of your eyes. It's never been this bad. We've never had this many people on assistance. There's over 50 million Americans are now on food subsidies. During the Great Depression, there were something like 28 million. Is this registering with anybody? The only reason that it was obvious then and people knew about it was because these people were in the streets. The lines were forever. But when you look at it today, just look at it today, and you realize there's no one in the streets. You're just handed a card. And so you quietly go to the store to buy your food or whatever. Think about it. They're hiding these numbers from you, and it's time to wake up because time has run out. It ran out a while ago. And unless you start to share this message, you start talking to each other, you're all just going to be plucked off one by one. And it's sad, but it's our own fault because nobody wants to share what's important. You all want to share NFL scores, or you want to share, videos of your children opening presents that you can't afford. And you're all on the verge of being laid off from your jobs, the few that have them anymore. And I hope that this doesn't fall on deaf ears. I hope one or two of you care to share the message. I hope one or two of you care to talk to your neighbors about how bad things are right now. Um, it's not that I'm giving up or I've lost hope, but it's getting to be a little bit ridiculous these days as I look around at what people are posting on the internet, what they're saying in public. Everyone seems to be more concerned with themselves, and as long as they have a job, it's fine. It'll never happen to them. It's everybody else, and it must be their fault. Well, I have a news flash for you. This is many reasons, and it had nothing to do with your neighbor's ability to work, or even their desire to work. This had to do with the rug being ripped out from underneath them. This had to do with outsourcing jobs. This had to do with lower costs for corporations to ship their whole corporations overseas, and or bring in illegal aliens to do the same jobs here in America. But, tell yourself these nonsensical excuses as much as you like. Pat yourself on the back for having a job. Pretty soon you won't, and then you'll panic, and then you'll want answers. It'll be too late then, but I'll tell you the reason why it happened so that you don't have to ask the question then. The reason that it happened in the future when you lose your job is because you didn't speak out now. It's because you didn't stand up now, because you didn't care about anybody else. And then they came for you.